very one-sided at all. I think it's close. I'd say like 60-40 for Liquid coming into this, because I have been impressed by BRAME.
Yeah.
And as you said, their record's pretty good so far. They lost 2-0 to OG. Understandable. OG with Anna looking pretty scary. And against Tundra, they're a pretty one-sided game. I think both were like 24-6 on the kills, 27-6 on the kills.
Yeah.
Like, it was flawless stuff against Tundra. So if they bring that level of performance, they're definitely going to give Liquid a pretty good run for their money here.
Yeah, they should for sure, Brian, right?
Yeah, I just think that Liquid is a team that usually starts off a little cold and then catches their momentum, feeds off of their own energy from series to series, and they just came off of a big win.
They did.
So, I'm just saying, I think we might be seeing top-tier Liquid today.
All
yeah,
right.
and Liquid also has the habit of pushing every series to a third game.
They are very good at that.
They are very good at that, very skilled at that indeed, which is good news for all of us, because that means we get to watch them play more. Dota, and you know, I'm sure that the Liquid organization is very happy with that as well.
Gotta get that
more
airtime.
screen time. Got him. Oops. But yeah, we should be ready for the draft any moment now. We obviously already talked about Beastmaster expected to be banned unless a team comes in with a plan against it and lets it through, but at the same time just not do that. But I am very curious, because when we saw Liquid play the first time around against Alliance did ban out the Broodmother because they just didn't want to face it, right? Yeah. And then we saw Broodmother earlier this weekend and it actually looked quite good, but we haven't seen it yet from Quakefa.
Yeah, but if anyone's able to just play it on the offlane, I mean, even in the old patch, he was playing at side lane some games, and it won. I think one of the games I remember, they were forced to side lane, safe lane the Brood. He was doing great. And now, arguably, with the changes, I think side lane Brood's probably better, right, with the current Brood compared to the old one with the spiders early on. I mean, you've been laning against it, Brian. Like, some carries, you do struggle in that match.
I played Gyro thinking I can just flock down these spiders once he hits 6, but the problem is the Silken Boa just makes you miss. So you take like 2/3 of your health and damage, and most
spin
carries,
to win?
Yeah.
Gyro?
You mean...
Oh, sorry, and that's... I thought Juggernaut for a second. For my moment.
No, I mean, either way...
Gyro only spins when he's dying.
I think the only way to deal with...
You've probably done a fair bit of spinning.
Yeah, you know what? I just want to say I think the only way to really deal with the hero is catch, like Storm Spirits in the mid lane. That was the game that it lost. So if they pick the Broodmother, I'd like to see a couple bans like that, because the only issue is that nobody can occupy the lane against Brood, but you can gank Brood. So that's the solution if they choose to
hold your horses.
I'm holding them.
I thought Sumail was gonna play remote, but no, he is in Utrecht right now, because I see Jabs in the background and he's in Utrecht. That's the bootcamp location of Team Liquid, by the way.
They got him
That's the same location. They got him locally, I'm very happy with that, because I thought that was gonna maybe be a hinder playing on the ping, but no ping here.
Oh, no, Sumail on no ping sounds pretty terrifying.
Very scary.
Pretty terrifying.
Yeah, when he played on OG, he was on ping the entire
yeah, he was.
I think, at least for the majority of their games, and of course on that stack that he played recently, he was like...
And he was playing carry.
So.
I just want to say that this guy, last time I checked, was ranked like 13 in an A, and he just randoms and goes mid.
Yeah,
he literally just randoms.
Wait, have you been playing against him in Europe?
I have not played against him in Europe yet.
No.
I'm just saying the last time I saw him in pubs, he was just randoming and like playing Omni Knight and Enigma middle and stuff. That's what he's done.
Look at this already. Pretty wild opening from Liquid. Lean Stop it!
Ten seconds remaining.
Tile and not like the game of the carry can't just get ruined is how I kind of look at this pick. It's protecting the pick from becoming useless, the later ones. So they might be able to just fourth pick their carry here if they feel comfortable.
I mean, I still agree with what you're saying earlier. The life stealer being there definitely seems to be the one that sticks out the most.
But with the Abaddon pick, you might pick a less defensive carry.
Okay.
I'm saying
So
life stealer without Abaddon would be good with like a Grimstroke or like a CM, you know,
sure,
something aggressive.
But with an Abaddon, what do you want to say? I mean, something like a gyrocopter?
Yeah, honestly, you don't need a melee hero if it is a spread damage hero, like Gyro or Medusa. I don't think that's necessarily what I would look for, but Ursa comes to mind when they pick Centaur. Slark comes to mind here.
He does.
The Abaddon.
Yeah, and you don't like the PA anymore? The Mag PA? Is that dead?
I don't hate PA here.
Okay.
I just...
Well, now that you've got the
I would love a hero that threatens the Centaur. I think people have underestimated the ability to actually threaten a Centaur with a carry. Because once he gets Vanguard, any hero that doesn't have a damage passive is going to literally hit for 0 damage. So you can pick PA, you're just surrendering your safe lane, which is fine. We've seen plenty of PAs just recover in the triangle. We saw that last game in the last series. I usually don't like Slark, but I would actually be down for it here.
They're taking their time.
No, I wouldn't mind if they went sort of all in on like a draft around the PA. Yeah, so make a. What about this? If they do finish up, if they want to, maybe have either the Mag or the Lina as the support mid, one of those two, and then you finish off with a Slardar on the offlane.
I don't think you go Slardar against Morph.
Okay.
I don't think it's terrible. Morph actually kind of struggles if you have too much single target focus, meaning, you know, Slardar minus armor, usually not that good against high armor heroes, but
5
The
seconds
thing is
remaining.
that I would rather have a hero that goes in first for this lineup than a hero that like buffs up the PA. I think you've kind of like got the PA on lock. She's protected by the Abaddon. She's buffed up by the Mag. Just have a fight starter. Have somebody that's going to create some chaos. Because right now, I don't really think you never want to lead with RP. So if you're not leading with RP, then what? Usually the god tier RPs are set up because there's some guy that goes in, forces 3 people to focus him for a second, and then the mag RPs. They don't have that yet.
Do you think it's any clearer what way Liquid's leaning with who's going to be going mid, who's going to be going offlane in terms of heroes? Like, what are they saving to last year? They're saving Sumail's hero to last?
Yeah, they're saving Sumail's, man.
You don't think it was just the Lina?
You're not giving him Lina into Centaur. It's not like, obviously you're not laning against the Centaur. It's the idea that as a core Lina, if they have a Centaur, they're just going to jump you with 3 heroes at the same time and kill you.
So what do you want to play? You're Sumail, you get 10th pick. Is it 10th pick overall?
I would pick Tiny here if I were Sumail.
Tiny. Sumail Tiny.
We got a Razor ban.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a hero that stuns, but it does. Like Razor would have been fine in the sense that it's a hero that runs in. They also could think that that's like an offlane Razor or something. I don't think mid Razor last pick really concerns me.
So you're thinking that in this lineup it will be Magnus played by Koikfa?
I think so.
Seconds
It's like a mid lane hero in the off lane.
Yeah,
It
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I think it's probably what they're gonna do.
I would just be a bit surprised because at least if you go off the public data that we've seen recently from Quake from when he's been practicing the offlane, the 4 offlaners that he's been playing are Darkseer, Slardar, Sand King, and Necrophos. That's what he's been playing in pubs on the offlane.
I see.
So if it is, it's something that he's not been showing publicly.
Okay, I don't hate Slardar. I just because he is a hero that goes in. I don't mind it. We still haven't mentioned the Brood since the start of the draft. It's still there. They don't really deal with the spiders at all.
But that would mean that it will be Sumail and the Lina.
No, or the Magnus.
Or the Magnus, I guess. Yes, sure. Magnus could be too.
We have seen some Mags mid again recently.
Yeah, Brood would probably be a bit awkward actually, because usually with Brood you want a roaming 4. You want somebody who gives the Brood solo levels.
Viper ban?
Yeah, they're banning out Koikfa heroes, so they clearly think this is a mid Lina. Those are not Sumail heroes.
No.
It's looking like a nice tiny game though.
10 seconds remaining.
Or hear me out.
Yeah.
Sumail Mirana
5 seconds.
I mean, that
remaining.
against the Phoenix.
I believe he was playing that a week ago in his pubs.
Okay. Just saying, it doesn't really do the whole go in first thing, but I wouldn't put it past them to just say, hey, Sumail, go and style on these. Okay, never mind. Not Mirana against TA. Never mind. That's why they banned Razor Viper. That makes a lot more sense.
So what are you picking against the Viper? So you don't want to put the lean in? You want to put the Magnus, you want to get something else?
Wow, look at all these bans.
Hey, by the way.
Pugna Huskar also banned?
Yeah, Puck is still in the pool. I don't know if it's good, but I know that Liquid plays it a lot.
5 seconds remaining.
It's so hard to think with the... It's going to be really obvious when they pick it.
What about Invoker? Just get the Sumail Invoker out. You've got someone else to buff up the TA. You've got good catch, good setup, and a lot of these heroes are going to have a really nasty time if they get a bit of their mana burned.
How about Lesh?
Ooh, you said it before we heard it.
I said it.
You said it.
I was literally, I'm like, the thing is, you're listing off all these heroes, and the thing is, when you picked Invoker, you emphasize it's another hero to buff PA. They're not going to pick something that buffs the PA. They're going to pick something that Sumail's going to carry the F out of this game. And I actually like Lesh a lot here because they have very limited catch early, and Lesh's vulnerable stage is like 7 to 15 minutes where he hit his level 6. He doesn't have a defensive item and a mana item yet. And that's when you're supposed to punish this hero. If he's allowed to go farm, I think he actually does this job better than TA because he can kill the TA with a +1, but TA cannot kill him. So I love this pick. Dude, Sumail Lesh, that one TI 5, I'm ready.
You think that this sealed the deal for Team Liquid?
I think it's a sick Lesh pick. I think the hero's situational, but right now, like, this pick is sick. I love it.
How about you, Owen?
I got to agree. I think it's pretty hard to go against the Sumail Lesh hero. When he's seen everything ahead of him, the final pick of the draft, he's going to have some confidence. And as Brian says, you know, it's one of those heroes that Sumail he'll just carry the game on. So I think it could be one of those games where Liquid do nice things around him. Sumail pops off, and the Lesh it's going to be a bit of a difficulty for BRAME to deal with. But I'm looking forward to see what BRAME can bring against him. But Sumail, he's back. He's on his mid Lesh. Good luck.
And for BRAME to be successful in this game, Brian, Is there one thing in specific or timing that you're
If
looking
they
for?
get a couple crucial kills on Sumail early, he's the space mag.
Okay.
This mag PA. So they could immediately collapse the map on PA through that, I think.
And Earth Spirit is definitely a hero to do that with,
Earth
right?
Spirit's the one we should be looking out for.
All right, Stomana's got his work cut out for him, I believe, here for this first game of the best of 3. Should be a very exciting match, and for exciting matches, we have exciting people to talk about the game, and we are ready to head over to Cap and Kyle for that.
Yes, thank you, Shiver. There may be 2 other teams in the server, 9 other players, but the story of this game is the king back. Will he manage to reclaim his throne, or is the best behind him? Kyle, he's going to be playing mid for Liquid.
Man, it's funny, I was texting him 2 weeks ago. I'm like,
Yeah.
you got to say good. You know, some team might pick you up soon. You're not even playing. He's like, bro, I don't play. I'm still top 5.
Yeah, that's the signature Sumail cockiness right there.
This is the man. This is the king. He's on his staple, the hero that arguably won EG, that TI 5 grand final.
Yep.
Because you had to ban it against this man, and Cheeky couldn't beat him with it.
Yeah.
Who was the only player at that TI to beat Sumail in the laning phase?
I think I remember. It happened early on in the tournament, right? It was, I think, upper... it was in the upper bracket, right? I think it was the first round, maybe?
Something like
I think
that.
they might have played Complexity. Was that
They
it?
did. I got text evidence. I'll pull it up on screen later.
Kyle is showing me his WhatsApp conversation with Sumail.
He's got nightmares.
All I saw was nightmares.
Now that I've retired, he can come out and look to dominate. But this will be tough. BRAME has looked good. Yeah, they came out of the lower division, but they've been working hard. They've been boot camping, and they looked really good against Tundra in their opening match of the season.
Yeah, speaking of which, Sumail, the last time he played was obviously on that Just Error team. That team did not do so well. In fact, their final match was against Yellow Submarine, which they lost. But the 2 best ones before that was a win against Alliance and a win against Tundra.
Yeah, those teams are certainly no slouches.
No.
But we'll see. The thing I like about Liquid's lineup is that they left the Phoenix and got the Lina early. I think this is probably the go-to counter because it's arguably the best egg hitter just because the range is so much. It's not much higher than a Snapfire, but it's definitely noticeable. And I think it was... I was talking to my brother about this. This 4-position Lina is definitely back because you just output so much pressure into this offlane.
So when it comes to Phoenix egg counters from the 4 position, Lina, Snapfire, what about Mirana? Where do you rate those 3? You had to give them a number.
I think Lina is certainly number 1, especially after the changes to Fiery Soul, because even as a support now, it's much easier to keep those stacks going. But man, what a blast from a pass watching this mid lane. Leshrac versus TA. We have not seen that in some time. TA considered a dead hero by many people, but it's been getting a lot of play in China. So I think that, especially after the dominance at the major, more people are looking to that region for draft and hero meta inspiration.
And it does seem to be peaking back bit by bit. I think we've seen it at least once in the Eastern European division. Not sure if we've seen it in the Western European division just yet, but why is it back? What made it bad before?
Well, you certainly can't dominate the lane nearly as hard now that refraction damage doesn't work on denies. I think more emphasis on ancient stacks and ancient farming this patch has pushed it up, but it's Roche. Like, TA's still good for the same reasons she's always been good. It's a heavy minus armor, a Roche taker, tower hitter, real high tempo. Just kind of disappears.
Pulls it back. Spartan is still not level 2. He's going to throw out the last fire spirits, but the damage is done. Koifa picks up the first blood. And we may not have really talked about him too much, but his appearance in the off lane. Koifa has primarily been a mid laner for most of his career. Though he has played off lane every once in a while, and obviously Liquid especially like to move people around and shuffle them about.
He's I think in at least the honeymoon period, mids going off lane is kind of spooky just because their laning phase is typically much better than carries. Like there's a, you know, if you watch streams even of mid players and compare their laning to carries, you know, like I was watching BSJ stream earlier as an example. He's missing CS under tower. You don't see this from a mid player like Koifa. They know that tower like the back of their hand.
That's true. I think it's a little unfair to compare them to BSJ, but, you know, it's fair enough.
Similar MMR.
Skylark is going to be doing a little bit of pulling shenanigans here to try and make this lane work, because it does seem like the 5-position Ben that, speaking of BSJ, I know he loved this pick quite a lot, is being rather effective at being super disruptive to both the Eurospirit and Centaur.
Yeah, Mickey is pretty much free farming, and now, oh, they might go for a kill.
They're going to try again here. No dive available. Taiga is going to keep running at him. No, he decides against it. He maybe could have tried for another LSA, but the Morphling represents too much of a threat. A dagger will finish him off. Mickey, not only is he free farming, but now he's picked up a kill as well.
Yeah, Liquid winning all 3 lanes right now. Mid is also like a straight-up disaster for Wish. He's forced to go farm his camp because Sumel's doing a great job keeping hill control. The CS is a bit deceiving because he just picked up like 9 neutrals on the easy camp.
Oh no, that's enough. The skewer, he did not expect that shockwave into LSA.
Definitely. He skipped in power too, which I imagine he would notice because it hasn't been cast yet. But that's a real cool decision by Koifa. That's a lot of magical burst combined with Alina.
I think what's always interesting is when mid laners transfer over to one of these side lanes, they always pick up mid lane heroes anyway. You can see Koifa showing off his mid Magnus here in the side lane and doing quite well at
the other big shift is when you see mid players go to support, like when Fada first swapped over and he was playing the same heroes he played core, notably Jakiro, like whenever possible.
Yeah. Did you do that, Kyle? You went from mid to off lane to support. Oh, charge on in. This time focus. He's level 3, so as long as he gets the button off, Sumail is making his way back here. He's surrounded by so many heroes. Insania completes the TP, and they have to give up on the chase, and Sumail's going to turn right back around and stand, deliver,
you
and
come for the king?
kill.
You cannot come for the king with such a feeble offering. Nice TP by Insania. Rune spawning, not right. Just kidding, no runes.
No rune.
It's really hard to get used to that.
Yeah.
Although I do like, is that another kill? Oh my god.
What?
Taiga.
What is happening here? Taiga sneaks in another LSA that gets the kill onto focus.
That's Lina buffs in action. He's just hitting so many stuns with no setup.
But yes, I find it harder later on into the game.
Yeah.
Standing at a bounty rune at 25 minutes.
Yeah, every time.
I was like, wait a minute, 25 is not a multiple of 3.
I like it though because I think it's the nighttime phase shift is enough of a change. Like I like that there's no bounty rune spawns on the clock change.
Right.
Nice deny. Man, Liquid is just firing on all cylinders, all 3 lanes with a pretty nice lead.
Is this supposed to be happening? Is this Liquid looking really good, or is this their draft? They set themselves up for really good lanes? What
a bit of both, I would say. I know they've been working hard because Insania and Blitz have stopped playing Mafia, so you know that they're taking it seriously.
Dire's middle tower
But I don't think I think that they answered what BRAME had in mind. Like this Lina against Phoenix is certainly proving effective. The Leshrac last pick up top. I would think that the Centaur would be doing better, but that's the power of the Abaddon 5. Just give the level advantage, stack camps.
Yeah.
An Insania special.
And BRAME having a rough time. They went and started this season really well by being able to get that 2-0 against Tundra. And potentially set themselves up to be one of the teams that does stay in the upper division. But in order to really make sure of that, they've got to take down another win against one of the bigger teams, and Liquid would certainly be potentially their best target to aim at, right? Just because new player, stand-in of all things, you're hoping that they're a bit off their game, that they're not the same Liquid that sometimes shows up and does really well.
You would think Liquid is just probably the definition of inconsistent. Sometimes they look so good, you're like, damn, this team is going to win a major sometime soon. And other times, you're like, why are you giggling?
I know Blitz is listening to the cast right now, and I know he hates you.
Oh.
he loathes people calling Liquid inconsistent, but I'm not going to disagree with you on performance.
We will. I mean, we'll take feedback. You can shoot us a mail.
Yeah, maybe we could show a William Lee tweet maybe later on in the show.
Hey, well, shout out to the Liquid, the group, and especially the Liquid chef. You're the real MVP. Should ask for a raise and shout out, because I'm jelly because they all get to watch in their big room, their TV screen. I used to have one of those.
Big difference between giant org like Liquid and BRAME, but at least BRAME has a boot camp going on.
It's true.
Yes, Kyle?
Nothing. I just, if only they had a chef. That's really what's missing.
Okay.
Oh, nice rollout. And this is where the game slows down for Liquid, but they got to be content with this. Bear in mind, this is, I mean, he might have skipped in power to start the laning phase, but this is Mag PA. Like, this is unbelievably strong at scaling. They've got tons of stun lock on top of it. I love playing Mag with Lina because a 2-man RP, you get a double RP off of it because the Lina stun's always going to land. And BRAME really need more momentum. Their TA specifically has got to come online quick. They need that mid tower. They need Roche. I like what Wish has planned. It looks like he's going to be rushing the Blink Dagger, but I don't agree with 3 points Saya Blade if that's the route. I think that the Blink build's most effective with max meld at that same timing.
Would you say that Insania kicked up and couldn't quite put him on top of the cliff there, but he's still going to be run down. Insania probably thinking, worth it. 3 heroes here. I still got the last hit on the ward for 135 gold, and Mickey now knows that he should probably play a bit safe. Would you say a lineup like BRAME's, the fact that they've got like 2 cores, this Morphling and Templar Assassin, that it is important for lanes to go well, right? Because you both of your cores can't default to jungle.
I mean, look at the issue is that Morph has just thoroughly been dumpstered, and really more than the TA, that's your win condition, especially with an Earth Spirit. We've seen teams in Asia first to Morph ES for this reason, for the double Spirit roll-in and just an unbelievable amount of stun lock potential. Nice play from Sumel, just backed up by Insania on a bad and easy pressure on the tier 1.
Does a hefty amount of damage.
You're getting bottom for free as this occurs. This is the trouble when you lose one lane so hard. The entire rest of the game, your whole squad has to play catch up, and they bleed out advantage in the lane that is now abandoned. It's not just the Koifa Mag free farming. Taiga's also free to stack, to farm. He has TP ready if they try to dive top.
So it does mean that BRAME is going to have a lot of pressure on, I think, this man right here, Skylark, the lane that did go well, and he is also the playmaker. Our TA still needs that Blink Dagger, as you were talking about. Skylark's got to be able to exert some pressure somewhere on the map.
Yeah, the trouble is you saw Purge give that breakdown of why minus armor is less effective against Vanguard, but that's for the early phase of the game. This Deso timing is going to be very quick, and it actually works against you that you have this Vanguard instead of plus armor once PA's minus takes you to negatives, which it will do once he hits that talent.
Silence going off, immediately removed by the Aphotic Shields, and we're getting a good old classic 3-on-3 mid lane. Both teams posturing to try and take the mid tower. That is not going to be enough, and now Spartan just goes ahead, goes for the dive, the jump in. Liquid turning around to go for the kill onto the egg, and they will manage to do so, but they lost Taiga in the process. 1-for-1 exchange with the Stampede going off, getting Wish out of that stun, but unfortunately for Stominen, Mickey shows up, a 4th member into this. Skylark's got to get out of here.
He's in trouble.
1 for 2, maybe even a 3rd, but Skylark proves to be a bit too tanky. Oh, Koifa missing the RP. Wish barely managing to blink away just in time. 2 near-death experiences there for Wish, but he survives through them both.
That was wild. That would have been a huge kill. You saw Liquid, Koifa called out that he had the RP, but the blink away just in time. They repositioned to the river, expecting the skewer down. That would have been 100% an execution of the TA, but he actually saves his Centaur too by juking that, because they could have also continued. I believe Sumel was in Yul's range, would have been able to follow up with the stun quite easily. But alas, I think if the Phoenix Egg maybe let the dive swing you back just a little bit, if you get that egg off, I think that's a much more decisive fight win. And here's the TA strength, just farming the Ancients.
Done very well for himself. The only camp stacked being by him. And he's managed to claw himself to the top of the net worth chart by quite a hefty amount. Skylark, though, 2nd in net worth for BRAME, is going for a desperate TPL, but it will not be successful.
That was all Fairy's Trinket right there. That little bit of extra damage thanks to the spell damage and mana cost reduction. Absolutely broken tier 1 item, especially on a hero like Leshrac. Plus the 100 health, because why not?
Yeah.
You'd probably still have it equipped, but take the health anyway.
3d8, a 3,000 net worth lead for Team Liquid right now, and
Feeling good?
feeling good and not too much pressure. What you saying on them?
This is chill. I like the way that they're utilizing their positioning around the map. Like Insania, you know, Sumail, he hasn't played professionally in a while, so Insania is doing a good job holding his hand. You know, don't worry about it. You might get ganked. I'm here. I got the heals. I got the shield, and they're also defending the most valuable area of the map.
I like how they're both teams have a similar concept here, which is they are putting the hero in mid lane that can solo pressure the tower, and it forces response, right?
Yep.
You kind of always have to have somebody standing there, otherwise your mid tower is just going to die to retaliation or die
And this is the right move from Liquid. Just get the smoke around, collapse on this mid tower. Every team will tell you this is the most important objective to take in Dota 2. They want the Phoenix if they can. That effectively removes BRAME's
smoke's gonna break, and look at this defensive ward they have. They know, but they also know where the Phoenix is. They managed to get the Skewer, a 2-man RP, the roll in, but Snowman can't stop this damage that flows through. Sumail gets the double kill, may get the tower, immediate buyback from Spartan, but they still can't take the fight. After all, they lost their core centaurs, so even with a buyback, they're just gonna have to walk away.
Really great job there. Shout out to Taiga. Excellent stun. Picks the spot where he expects the Phoenix to be. I think they saw him on the high ground vision, and at least they saw him move into the trees, so a bit more than a guess, but either way, nice setup. Ploy for then the Skewer to grab the double RP, and this is the trouble, is that right now, BRAME, they don't have the team fight to answer a blink RP. There's no real counter initiation. Sure, you can roll in, but the actions from Liquid are gonna happen far too quick for you to be able to make a proper defensive posturing. Like, how do you respond? There's no interrupt on the Lesh stun, which means all these heroes are dead. Way too much burst, especially with the PA going Deso.
Okay, so now they've lost this mid tower. What does that give Liquid?
It just opens the map.
Yeah.
See how aggressive they're.
All of a sudden, they're in deep, and Spartan, his last shots, not quite enough.
So the movement here from Insane and Sumail, it's effectively the same as when they were posturing in front of their tier 1. They're still controlling the same area, but in this case, they're able to get a lot more vision and pressure, and if they farm creeps or steal creep waves, it's on enemy side, and then they take enemy jungle. So just a product of taking this tower makes it much easier for them to choke out BRAME's resources on the map, force TA into that top triangle, Morph left only with top lane. 70% of the map is now there. Still, BRAME not out of it, but they need a good fight. They need to use this egg. They have a Deso timing on TA approaching rapidly, and the E-Blade on Morph, though I'm not sure who he'll really gun for. It's really just Taiga that he can target.
Yeah. Sad part of being down this much net worth usually means the cores have their prerequisite items to survive through any kind of burst like that.
Dude, I should have picked more bad when I was playing. This is so chill.
Yeah.
Insane is just... I got you, bro. That's it.
Where do you want to go next, Sumail? All right.
He's like, all I know is, Sumail, you're confirmed town, and I've got you covered.
And Mickey manages to get a solo kill on Spartan, but BRAME kind of feeling like they got to make a move here. They're getting picked apart around the map, and it's getting smaller and smaller. They're going to run into Insania here. Insania with the TP out. They don't know quite where the smoke broke until it's too late.
You see, BRAME, they know the pit is their play. They have egg, they've got the stampede. You need to fight on your terms when possible, and they can Zerg the Roche down fast enough to force a response. But it's very cautious. You can see the scan comes out. Like, Liquid are very aware of the script that this game will play out.
Nobody being in there for now. Stack by Taiga as the 17-minute mark. We have the second round of neutral items available.
God, there's so many. I was like, are you saying ruins? That's not divisible by 3.
Yeah, no, there's other things to worry about.
I was watching old VODs the other day. It is insane how much simpler the game was.
Yeah.
Like all of neutral items, talents, app changes, all of it didn't used to be.
And one thing that actually made the game somewhat simpler, in a very small way, was stats being taken away. Now that's another option you can have.
Why not?
Skylark, he may be tanky. Can he survive through all this one? The Stampede, they're trying to burn out with a little bit of Sunray to help him, and he just barely getting away out. He's good. Koifa, the shot coming in from him, but the miscoil helps protect him. BRAME, explosion from the Yegg, and that's going to be a big one. But her RP goes out from Koifa. A 3-man dude with a 2-man kill from Taiga, which turns around and delivers some damage on his mail. It's just enough to be able to get the kill. Stoneman gets out with his life, but Liquid claimed the fight around Roshan, and there's a double damage sitting there for Mickey to do Roshan.
That was so sick from Koifa. Barely escapes, comes back in, 3-man RP. Love the confidence as well from Sumail. He's low. You're going to watch him posture so that he's in a position, always at the front of the team fight, trusting in Insanity to keep him alive, and that 3-man stun is what actually confirms those kills.
Time back into it though, Sean, and he tried to go for a cheeky Aegis steal. Sadly, his timing was a bit off, and as a result, 4-15 now, 7,000 net worth lead for Liquid, and now an Aegis on Mickey. Oh my god.
So the DD helps, but that's minus armor against a hero that only has the 10 armor. He even has a casual ring of protection. The trouble is, like, Vanguard, yeah, it blocks 70 damage, but that becomes less and less impactful when PA crits start getting into the 4 digits.
Yeah. Now they're taking their ancient stack. Like, this is the nightmare for BRAME. They don't get the Aegis. And now Liquid can operate with that kind of confidence and play inside your triangle. Now you've got a TA and Morphling who don't have simple, good areas to farm. As you can see, them scrambling around here. Liquid making a push forward with that Aegis. They're going to roll in. They go to the back line. They immediately execute Taiga and might be able to catch Koifa as well. No, they decide he's a bit too tanky. They want to get away from Mickey here if possible. Shomanin, he's going to be the victim. Mickey's assault in the back line, though. They manage to catch Sumail. Sumail moves forward, and Skylark immediately catches him out. A buyback coming in from Stoneman. They see that, say, Liquid only have 3 here. Even if it's an Aegis, maybe we can still do something. Apparently, the rest of the team disagrees, though, with Stoneman's assessment.
That's the second support buyback for a fight. Like, BRAME's just a little too itchy on the trigger. Why you want to get back into the fight, but there's no mid tower. There's nowhere for you to go, and without an Earth Spirit, no Stampede, BRAME legitimately have no catch. So Liquid can pretty easily just disengage. There's nobody forcing them to stay in melee range.
To be fair, which would you rather have, though? A person who is a little bit too eager to use their buyback?
You got to buy back.
Yeah.
You know, it's better to err on the side of buying back than not doing so. Even you go to, like, the one game OG lost to TI9, you know, Ana, my bad, because he just didn't buy back on Spectre.
Yeah.
They throned him. Like, oops.
Well, Wish, he needs that item real badly, the BKB. So it's a good thing they got a little skirmish that sort of went their way. Found themselves a bit of map to farm on.
Yeah, the curious thing is this TA pick, because I don't really consider it a counter to the PA. You need an MKB, but the trouble is, as a Templar Assassin, you need Blink Deso BKB as core items every game. You can make an argument skipping Blink for like a Dragon Lance. I've seen that used in China a couple times, but it's just a weird selection. And when you fall behind, the game gets real difficult because Liquid feel no pressure and are just eating your map. And they're like, he's alone. Mickey's just walking in, scaring everyone, killing a Phoenix.
Yeah, and he's still got 2 minutes left with the Aegis, so he can keep doing that with pretty much no recompense from BRAME. Satanic next for him, so even as his Aegis goes down, he'll still have that form of a second life.
I wonder how good this Leshrac shard is. 3 stun, not 2 extra, 3 extra stunts.
So
you just stun on top of the PA and chill.
I asked actually Sumail about both of those things. I believe he said Aghanim Scepter as well. He said the Aghanim Scepter was garbage.
Yes.
And I think maybe it wasn't him, but somebody said the shard is good. it just requires you to either have a lot of stuns or be defending high ground. Right? Once you're able to, if you defend high ground with that shard, really nice. Dominant. Oh no, the Yules is here. He may have silenced up Sumail, but
Dire's top tower is under attack.
yeah, it's only a bit of a timeout before his death inevitably comes.
And then there's just a PA pushing mid with a incredibly strong offensive threat in the RP, and then Insania still just holding his core's hands, hanging out. Going for his very own Melk award. Needs to up those death counts, though.
Yeah. Only 2.
What was the... What did Melk go with? 0-17? I watched free to
I believe
play.
it's 22 is the magic number. It's been a long
Have
time.
you seen... Because free to play just got on Netflix, and it is insane to see how young everybody is.
Yeah.
Like, and it's also crazy how many people, you know, a decade ago they make this documentary, and yet Cinderin, Misery, Dendy, Fear, like these guys are all still here and still playing.
Yeah.
Well, except for Cinderin, but he's playing.
He's fine.
I'm a subscriber. 8-month badge.
What happened 8 months ago?
I lost a bet.
Spartan. Oh, this guy needs level 12 real bad. Oh god,
no.
oh god! Get out of there, Spartan! He throws fire spirits. Oh no, 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 Spartan, no!
I love it. I love the Shadow Amulet with the Sunray still going. Find me. And the Liquid are just hunting now. They smell blood in the water. Constant map rotations.
Money to burn.
And they move so quick, too. Oh, we don't need to see it again.
Half his health
15-11
gone
crit.
just from cleaves. Panics. TP or dives away, throws damage on the creeps, hoping to be able to kill the wave. But it doesn't. It like Kyle. It doesn't look to me like Liquid is necessarily going to go high ground. I don't feel.
They need Roche for that. They're just
Yeah.
chilling. This is how you got to close out a game nowadays, though. Like going high ground, especially with the ease of buybacking, got cheaper last patch. It just no point. Just chill. Get Aegis. Get yourself level 20 on as many heroes as you can. The second Roche with the free shard, I think, is just huge.
Yeah, it definitely feels like we're trying to make part of the reason Sean is getting more and more items to give away is basically saying, hey, look at all this stuff you got.
Yeah.
Maybe you should try hitting high ground with it.
It forces you to fight around the pit as well. It's another reason I think you've seen so much PA, so much Slaughter's coming back. This minus armor concept might not work on buildings necessarily, but on Roche.
Wish it's a good idea. It's one way to be able to try and split push a lane. Just laying traps everywhere, but Insania with a very early gem pickup has been finding all of those, and now he's going to find Spartan. Spartan canceling the Sun Ray, but he can't get away from Midday. Taigo, what happened to you?
What happened? Yeah. Wish must have tapped him.
Yeah, Focus gave him the old shotgun.
Well, they have a BKB on TA. That's helpful. The trouble is that right now, love Mickey's itemization. The Satanic build fell off a bit, but you know, with a mag, you don't need Battle Fury. You get the status resist, you get survivability. He's now not a target. Leshrac has a Yules. They have a Baden to prevent burst. And really, the trouble with BRAME's draft is that both of their carries are burst centered. They don't really have sustained DPS. And when you have an RP and a shield, it's pretty tough to confirm a kill on a core. Especially when they're this tanky.
They know, and they're going to be able to find Taiga. 1 stun, 2 stun. Dead Lina is the outcome.
Radiant's
I cursed him.
top tower is under
Yeah.
attack.
The other side of the map, Liquid will take a final tier 2. I assume. Maybe not. Maybe they're a little scared.
Playing it safe. Sumail's coming into the top wave, though, so they're probably just going to wait for him. You don't want to be too aggressive. Roshan is spawning in 5 seconds, so a throw here would be catastrophic.
Yeah, good opportunity for BRAME to be able to take this game back. You got to take some risks here, and maybe it's a good opportunity for them to 5-man just kind of run at Liquid and see what happened.
Wish is very low on mana, though. He's got to be cautious here.
Yeah.
He's got enough for a refraction, not even a meld. He has the shard. Did we talk about that yet?
No.
It is not great. It replaced, there was a talent that increased your trap count, if I'm
Yes.
not mistaken.
Yeah.
They put it on the shard. It also silences now based on the trap duration. I don't know how effective that'll be here. I know Waga, under no circumstances, goes anything but Ags.
Skylar charging through. They're going to go for it. The RP locks down 2, and Focus is sitting on the side here, having a hard time putting the damage on Electric. The Bloodstone just healed him back up the fall. 1,600 damage crit from Mickey. Takes out Wish. Spartan's going to fall as well. They're hunting the last man.
That was a 3-man RP, Cap.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. They're stacked so hard on top of each other, and then, yeah, that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
GG. That's the trouble with the PA. You have a BKB, so what? You're still going to get RP'd. If they don't get the mag, they're done for, and there we go. The King turns undefeated.
It's a start. I'm not going to hail him as being back and truly the king of mid lane until we see him and the rest of Liquid against some of the other teams in the field. But for now, in this game against BRAME, he and the rest of Liquid did look
Been on the streets a few months. I'm trying to pick myself up. I may be living alone, but I still believe in love. And although my flaws had dragged me down on the coldest night, I'm still kicking around. And then I saw you back before my time was shortened. No, throughout my life you called me a renegade. Throughout my loss you said we could start again, but I'm a renegade of your love. But I'm a renegade of your
With the Morphling being behind, he had to try and find farm elsewhere. How did the mid lane fare? And could the TA get something out of that lane, right?
Yeah, TA got a lot. The Lush wasn't picked with the intent to shut down the TA. They kind of banned out.
Between BRAME and Liquid coming your way here, Dream League Season 15, powered by Intel. First game went the way of Team Liquid, and they had overall last pick. This time around, the tables in that regard have turned because BRAME will have the overall last pick. We got them back on the Radiant side, we got Team Liquid on the Dire side, and we got OD Pixel and BSJ on my right side. Well, I guess my right side, your left side, and we're ready for the draft at this one. Curious to see what we're gonna get. You're on my left side.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think you reversed that. I think everyone knew,
what I meant. It's fine. We're in the draft. We're 2 picks in. We got another central leaner, but
Lesh is back, and this.
against Lina, who had been gathering rising stock in the mid lane, not only as a 4, but I'd be fine if they left it as a 4 as well. Let's see how Liquid attempts to handle their opening from last game, right? Because we were talking about what carry do you pick? So Liquid, you're going to tell us now, if the other team has Lina, what would you do?
And where did they expect it to go? Because BRAME, I mean, I'm sure that Stormanen can play it too.
They banned Huskar, so they're thinking still could be like a carry Lesh for Mickey.
Yeah,
that's
and
possible
they do that
well.
a lot. Liquid
carry Lesh is the answer.
Like
this is the curveball, little
what safe lane Lesh doesn't mind farming into Alina?
I would have to imagine it's similar to we were talking about like a Wraith King where you recover. That if you get some stacks from the Oracle, you throw out some lightning storms in the lane, and then you ditch the lane for those stacks, you can take them at level 6.
You know what hero is very sort of liquidy? That maybe, I mean, you're going to tell me more not good. I was going to say the Sven, the liquid.
Oh, I just thought Morphling was made of.
But you know what I mean? Liquid Look, the Sven, is that not a hero that you could see being able to farm into against Alina's pressure in the lane?
Yeah, I think if you have a roaming 4, then Sven would be better.
Okay.
Because the best way to deal with Lina is that she's super squishy. So you stun her with the Sven, you hit her with like a Tusk or an Earth Spirit or something, and
you can catch up after rough flame, right?
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is that I think when you pick Sven, you don't mind going to the jungle, but you don't want to be like losing and going to the jungle.
Okay.
You want to be like, okay, I'm okay with this lane. I'm level 5, but I'm good to go. You know, I'm out of here.
And does Warcry not do enough for you in the lane to sort of withstand the harassment from the right?
It's like usually most of the damage you're taking, you're already stunned by Lina. So I think you'll be using the Warcry to make sure you don't take any more damage, which kind of sucks. So, like I said, the thing I love about Liquid's drafting is that the way they play their side lane, since they do mix up their heroes so much, they pick like wonky safe laners, but it's with like specific criteria that has to be met. So when I say the Sven, like you have a roaming 4, they'll pick it. But if they don't have that roaming 4, they're not going to give Sven that really awkward lane. But I would not count out the safe lane Lesh here. I think it's a strong possibility if Liquid has like a sick mid pick to end the draft. Mid Lesh is, or safe lane Lesh is one of the few mid laners that can legit carry the game with damage output.
Sure. And for the most part, you know, if you were to have Sumail in your team, you would feel happier sort of letting him have his hero being one of the later reveals.
Yeah, and it would have to be like a mixed damage mid laner though. You don't want two Leshracs. You know, you don't want like a Leshrac Storm. I don't think that would be a good combo. Because then they just build a couple hoods or a pipe or something, and suddenly your damage output's pretty underwhelming.
And when you see Lesh and you think there is the chance that it might be, you know, being prioritized as a position 1, is there still space in the meta for the anti-mage? You know, we're seeing a lot of teams still try and make it work. It seemed not too impressive. Is Lesh one of those carries that still makes it legit to play again?
Yes and no, because the thing is that you're really good in a vacuum versus Lesh, but you're also very bad if the opponent's able to group up and take high ground super early in the game, which Lesh is really good at doing. Like even with just one Aegis, Lesh can usually go high ground. So it's a volatile matchup one way or the other. I wouldn't be afraid to pick it, but you have to be prepared for the fact that Liquid might just be hitting your tier 3s at 15 minutes into the game.
Is there any other cheese you should be worried about? BRAME is taking quite a long time to think about this last ban before the next pick phase.
The fact that they banned PA says like so much. Like they just don't want to lose to the same thing.
Yeah.
And I don't think the PA was necessarily the problem there.
What was everything else around it?
Yeah, like I think that could have, like I'm not saying PA was weak, but I think, you know, a lot of carries would have been able to flourish in the situation Liquid drafted themselves last game.
All right, we got the PL as the last ban coming out from BRAME.
PL Oracle, not really a combo.
No.
I don't think they're expecting this. Liquid's gonna swap this Lesh to safe lane. I'm ready. Look at this. They even prepared. Like, they banned out Jug Lifestealer. Those are actually Leshrac's worst carry matchups because you just never do anything to those guys.
Yeah. Well, we got the Gyro coming through. Was I believe the carry that Focus played in one of the games against Tundra, where they did exceptionally well. Had, of course, a great 2 games against Tundra.
I don't love Gyro and Oracle just because you throw out the rock. This is like mid game. You throw out the rocket. You throw out the call down on top of the guy that gets rocket, and Oracle just pushes W on the guy. And
yeah, no, absolutely. That you're gonna need something else that's gonna be able to jump the Oracle. I feel if you want to play like that.
Ooh, that's it.
Taiga probably.
Yeah, Taiga special coming out.
Okay. So they're going the Wisp Gyro.
We've seen it do okay, but it hasn't been like, oh wow, they got IO Gyro, they're gonna probably win the game. It's been an okay strat, but it's not like mind-blowing good, I feel.
I don't know what you drafted in lane against it though. I'm not actually sure. In terms of Quakefoot's hero pool. You have the Enchantress 4.
Yep.
Where do they go? Okay.
Wow.
Well, screw everything I said about the Lesh.
All right,
they just go for the Spectre. It's a really nice Blade Mill game.
Any chance that can the Lesh be flexed enough to go to the offlane and have Quake for play it, or does that not feel good? Like, could you run that?
You could absolutely do that, yeah. The thing is, I'm surprised if BRAME doesn't just lane the Lina versus Lesh. That is a very favored Lina matchup, and it's not a terrible Lina game. All things considered, like you do kill the Enchantress.
Yeah.
You're a little afraid of Spectre hyper late game, but maybe maybe Team Liquid's just very confident that BRAME is just going to be cookie cutter with the picks so far. They clearly think Ember is good against these ranged mid laners like the Lesh. Like they banned it when they had Lina.
10 seconds
They banned it when they have Lesh.
5 seconds remaining.
I never thought of Ember as a very good hero this patch. That's a very weird ban to me, because not only is it like mediocre in lane versus Lesh, but it also, you have the Oracle to purge the shield, you have the Enchantress to purge the shield. I'd be curious to ask them about that one.
See what Liquid are scared of here. I mean, we're still expecting what... I mean, you think the Lina will go mid at the moment, and they're still yet to pick their final support hero?
The thing is, it's like, I think they could do that, but I don't think they're going to do that.
They got overall 10th pick Is there anything
yeah.
that is better against Leshrac than Alina that they could still go for?
Puck was nice.
Would have been. Yeah.
Queen of Pain stands out to me as another hero that I would like a lot. It's mixed damage. It's the Oracle. You have the pure damage coming out, which is really nice. You can't protect from that.
We got the Sand King.
So that'll probably be Quake for, as I said, this is one of the 4 offlaners that he's been practicing recently in his pubs.
Yeah.
If it's a hero that he feels comfortable playing with in the mid lane, I think Queen of Pain would be nice. They just go TA again. I don't know,
Alright,
man.
so
They
they're
just
playing the same matchup mid.
They just willingly picked Lesh into you last game, and you're giving him the same matchup.
Yeah.
What do you think BRAME feel is different this time that makes them confident enough to stick with the TA against the Lesh this game? I mean, what's changed?
It just has to be comfort zone, man. There's really, I don't see an actual reason strategically why you would pick TA again here. You have a very greedy draft. Liquid has a very greedy draft, but TA doesn't really punish the greed of these heroes. So I think Liquid will get away with their greed, and I think with Spectre, their greed will be superior. So I don't know, maybe I'm underestimating IO Gyro, but the Oracle's really cool with the Spectre because the way Blade Mail and Dispersion works, they don't count for damage mitigation. So if you have the Oracle Fate's Edict on you and you're taking 0 damage, you're still dishing out damage with your Blade Mail and Dispersion. So it's a cool synergy. I think Liquid's got it late, and both teams will get the farm they need.
Okay. How are you on?
I'm a little happier to see them bring out like the Gyro IO. I think this is something that BRAME are very strong with. But I've got to agree with Brian. I think the first 2 picks that Liquid came out with, you know, you see the whole of the draft. I mean, you would have been happy slipping either of these heroes through as the end. The Oracle's going to be able to counter so much coming out from BRAME. And I don't see any reason why Samael's going to be any more unhappy here compared to when he picked the Lesh last game. And if this time round, you know, we saw last game with the backup of the Abaddon, the saves coming out, arguably with the Oracle, the saves are going to be even better.
Yeah.
So I think Samael's set up for just as good, if not a better game than he was in game 1, and he had a great time there.
Are you a tiny bit sad that he's playing the same hero?
Sure. I mean, we all want to see.
Right?
We want to see everything that Samael has to offer. I'm sure we'll get the chance over the series.
Yeah.
But you know, obviously for Liquid, they're sticking with what's good. Comes out early in the draft. I think he's going to have just as good, if not a better game.
All right, well, let's see if BRAME can force out that 3rd game or if Liquid is going to take this as a clean 2-0. We're heading over to our commentary duo of Kat and Kyle.
To be honest, game 1 was not that close, and BRAME, they seem to have taken the same cut had before, made some tweaks, which I do think the tweaks are good.
Yeah, but like, do they think it was close? Because it didn't look very close. And I don't know about this TA hero.
Yeah.
It's not the secret S tier mid that we've all been waiting for. And you know, we'll see. But certainly going to need a better laning phase.
Well, if it says anything about BRAME, it means that they feel like the winning formula against Liquid here was not that far off. Whether it was the slight tweaks in the draft, maybe they feel like it was more execution-based. I mean, a lot of that game 1 did come down to the laning phase going so poorly, right?
Sure, but I just finished rewatching Breaking Bad, and a couple of mistakes in your formula, you end up with something very far from what you intended. I was also checking, you know, Sumail is just like fresh 22 years old. I feel like he's been around for like 7 years, but
yeah, well, that's because he has.
I know.
Right? If he's 22.
It's wild stuff.
Yeah. It's still a number of very young players, but they're only young in the sense of age because many of them are actually Dota veterans.
Well, it's funny, going back to free-to-play, a common talking point was, yeah, pretty much a 25-year-old. Like, you won't make it in esports. But so far, I wouldn't say that's true. You know, all the same captains pretty much still grinding away. Although admittedly playing 5 positions for the most part.
True. They're, I think new top-tier captains are a bit rare to come by, right?
It's very much an experience thing for sure. Sumail missing the block.
It's going to go all the way into the tower. Maybe that's a little bit more than Wish wanted for himself. We'll see.
Yeah, the thing is, TA, if you don't get denied, you get that early level 2. It is actually quite nice because you can pressure under tower.
And you're better at last hitting under tower than a Leshrac is, right? Because
For sure.
Action. So
Yeah.
maybe it is exactly what he wants. Is the lane's going to push under tower, and Smail's going to be hard pressed to try and get those last hits.
Of course, he gets all of them and keeps lane control with it.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Losing the courier does keep his life intact. Spartan is going to be playing against the Enchantress Sand King. So one of the switches that we did have in this game is the fact that BRAME took the lead.
Yep. What are your feelings on the Sand King hero? Because it's back. It's being picked for mid, for off lane. I am not a believer still, personally.
I think that it's rather dependent on your 4 and your mid. Because I do believe that Sand King, he's sometimes a very underwhelming hero, and you would not... For example, actually, let's just talk about Liquid straight up here. Koifa, Sand King versus Boxy Sand King. I wouldn't want Boxy to be playing Sand King. I would think that scales a bit better, right? Because that's kind of off-laner that Boxy is. But Koifa being more of a solid player that, you know, doesn't have high variances in play, right? I'm okay with him playing something like Sand King that isn't going to carry team fights, but will always be there to assist.
He'll get a stun off.
Yeah.
Let the rest of the guys handle everything else. This bottom lane, Enchantress, you know,
rough.
This hero, it's so weird how things get removed slowly. Like, you remember how all these mechanics that did bonus damage on denies got phased out? Like, first it was Kunkka's Tidebringer, but they left it on refraction, then that got removed. Same deal with the creep. You know, Chen can't take big creeps. Level 1. Doom, eat big
They're
creeps.
really trying, but Mikke, he managed to dodge the LSA. Snowman, is he going to die first? He gets the last shot in. The first blood goes to him. Insania will get the counter kill, but it doesn't matter. They've lost their carry, and they've given up first blood.
Can you explain that to me? Why Enchantress is the only hero that can take big creeps?
Because you can only do so for a limited amount of time, and they have nerfed the duration.
Yeah.
So Ice Frog, because, you know, I think Ice Frog likes to have variety in there. So it's like, oh, you get to have a hard creep right away, but you can only have it for so long.
But
so you could be very strong, but for a very small period of
re-enchant
time.
it, though. No comment.
Okay.
We'll see how it plays out, though, because this is like already down bottom. They get the kill on Insania, but bot lane, they're doing a ton of pressure.
Double stun out from Koifa. A lot of damage on focus as Taiga continues to throw shot after shot. And manages to get the impetus right as Spartan goes for the Tetherway for the added damage. I do think that Enchantress is kind of broken in this patch. I think it's being underrated by other teams.
You know, what's kind of broke is Mikke up top with only 6 CS against the Centaur lane, going much better than the PA did. It makes sense. The Oracle, much worse in these early levels. You don't really sustain your core the same way an Abaddon does. Nice proc the caustic, but I think he might.
Yeah, Koifa, he is going to get run down here. Now, he did have one at Fairy Fire, and they missed a
Taiga killed it with, I think, some assistance from the attacks of that creep archer.
And they're going to go for the double stun again. The Gyrocopter's going to go down first, and Spartan trying to get behind the tower. Koifa goes in for the tower dive, gets the kill, uses the Sandstorm to dodge the last couple of tower shots in there as well. 2 kills for the bottom lane of Liquid.
This Lina 4 position, man, is pretty sick. It's just the stun build. It's so much easier to hit, and this is the dream for Skylark. He's got a ring of health. He's just going to start running at Mikke. And unfortunately for him, Spectre is not really the greatest recovery hero. You don't farm jungle very fast. You're not able to clear stacks efficiently. This is just going to be a rough game.
Another tweak that BRAME did make, right? Because last time Snowman was playing that a melee 4 position, right? An Earth Spirit. And here, he can pressure the lane a lot more, which we're seeing with this kill onto Insania. Not only is Mikke under farm, but now they're finding kills as well.
Dude, this is a disaster. Like, actually just straight up might be game losing, this top lane of Liquid. Like, 7-0 on your Spectre. Like, 29 and 15 on Centaur. Skylark is not even going to go Vanguard, it looks like. He's going to rush Phase Boots. I love that idea.
Keep up the pressure. Keep the punishment going. Mikke takes a huge amount of damage, and once again, it's forced away from the creep wave.
You can't... It's... Oh, my God. Okay. For Insania?
They don't have the hoof stomp, so Insania... Oh, stop it. He really wanted that, and he tried to dive the tower for it. He still turns around and still gets plenty of damage on Mikke. If anything, Mikke's going to die instead. All right, this is getting ridiculous now.
It's too much damage, Cap. 180 plus the strength bonus.
And they're going in for the dive. Dude, BRAME, they want to keep this punishment going. Insania hiding in the trees here, but the Lina will cut down the trees to make sure that the support is going to be found here. And I believe Mickey actually had to wait a few seconds just to be able to TP out. That's how quick this is all happening.
So bottom lane, the communication should be, hey guys, we're owning. Please be safe. No more getting double stunned by a Sand King. Just chill. Same goes for Wish mid lane. Look to see him be a bit more conservative. He's doing well.
Is under attack.
Outlaning Sumail ever so slightly. Who's going to move bottom. I like this move from Sumail because you have to put pressure into a lane. You cannot mess with the Centaur. So go after the enemy carry, maybe try to get a tower kill. Group up with your Sand King stun around the catapult.
And if the heroes do not present themselves for killing, then Sumail will take the tower.
And now they're gonna hunt. They're still there. Go find them.
They think they TP'd out.
But where would they have gone? That's the thing. It's so early.
Yeah, mid lane. Gonna go ahead and drop a sentry to make sure that the Sand King is safe.
Oh, they pinged it. They saw the smoke. They know something's happening here. Curious to see, will BRAME look to fight it? Probably not. Just keep hiding. Your Centaur's doing so much work up top. 2-level advantage on the Spectre. Stomina has bots queued up. I don't think that's the play here, but very ambitious with his item purchase, if that is what he goes for.
It is curious. Why is there something about this lineup that you really would want to have the capacity to split push? Look at this pressure on the tower. Oh, an accidental smoke.
It's unfortunate. They're down a couple now.
Yeah, they smoked to get into this position. They accidentally hit it again here. Get a little bit of damage on that mid tower once again.
Love
you see
things.
The Wish laying down those traps on the side, so now he will see Sumail. He's like, okay, you did that trick last game. This time we'll at least see you.
Taya, just a little efficiency. He was spamming Medallion on his creep. That's what keeps it alive under tower. Always fun to see.
Koifa with a 2-2-1-1 build.
It's the Sand King special. You want all your spells. Unfortunately, only get them one at a time.
Found on the river, Spartan. He's gonna make him a little tankier, but it's not gonna do enough here. Gives him what heals he can, but not good enough. Awkward position to be in.
Yep. I like this from Liquid. They move the Spectre to bottom because the tower.
3-shot, 4-shot. Oh, he doesn't get that last shot in. Wish. He's still gonna chase after him, but now the heal's already done it. Fortunately, there is not a low ground miss there. He does get the kill.
Huh. It's odd though. Skylark coming mid is very strange. I would have loved to see him just continue pushing top, like kill that tower, then move out of the lane. But he's just jungling now, and it feels like BRAME are not pressing their advantage the way that they need to. You know, Mickey's game was ruined. Now he's free to static farm bottom. They've already killed tower, and we talk about Spectre can't recover. This is how you recover. You plant yourself in a lane, you static farm the wave, and it's the gyrocopter now that's forced to just sit there and watch. There's nothing he can do. He's sitting in front of his tower with a full wand. But there's no pressure happening from BRAME here. Now they're going to look to maybe mid, but Sumail's the strongest hero on Liquid. He's the one with the creep clearing potential. This is not where you want your Centaur.
I think in some ways the adjustment from Liquid here with the Sand King, I mean, that's a tower defender in its own right. Do you think maybe he felt like he just couldn't?
Well, sure, but I think Koifa rotated after he had left. It was just like, oh, free wave up here.
Okay.
I just don't think BRAME are capitalizing on this window they had. That gold lead, it was only like 1-2K, but that's pretty significant 6 minutes in. Yeah. Now you smoke, but at best you're going to get a kill here. Now there's a blade mail up. This is getting spooky. Oracle will be ready to teleport.
The at best here is a Spectre kill, a massive kill if they can get it. But as you said, Blade Mail, 17 charges of Magic Wand, and a tower that's not too far away. They're going to go for it. They do manage to get on top of him with the Stampede outputting all that damage. Look at Focus's health just dropping as he throws the Rocket Barrage onto the Spectre. Fortunately, they get the kill, though. It's a massive pickup. He can't afford to lose mid lane, though. Wish, he's already had his refraction burned away by the hits coming in from the Enchantress and her creep. Fortunately, both sides do have a saving support. Spartan shows up and gives Wish a helping hand in dealing with the troll.
It's going to be a really cool game to watch progress. It's all going to be about how much impact does Insania have in team fights. Leshrack's one of my favorite heroes against Wisp, also very strong against TA, but it's a very scary situation because Lesh has to be in the fight. You've got to have your W run in, ult up, charge forward. The only way you can do that is if Insania is prepared to back you up if you've got stuns coming in. If at any point BRAME just say, hey, let's click this Leshrack, if he doesn't get saved, like that's where the whole game is decided. Lesh alive, so much damage. You kill him off, suddenly Liquid's lineup feels a bit flat.
Now, BRAME did just have to give up their mid tower in part because Skylark's positioning was here in this bottom lane, and he can be found here. They do know where he's at. Spectre popping the ultimate to be able to find the Centaur, knowing that he didn't have a TP up for a bit.
1,000 of your kind have fallen.
It's a nice kill. Vanguard also somewhat countered by the Edict, doing physical damage but not affected by the Vanguard that the Centaur currently does not possess. He actually bought a hood instead.
Is under attack.
Do you agree with that? Is that the right play?
Yes and no. I would say yes if he had still pushed that top tower. I think a big part of the Vanguard is just that it might take a little longer than it used to before return was changed, but you can just tank tower and kill it slowly but surely. If he doesn't feel confident doing that because he went hood instead, then I would disagree with it. But it could have been a team call, you know, bring him mid. But my big problem is that, you know, he was dominating this game. Suddenly he's barely ahead of the Spectre and net worth, and currently Mickey is about to hit 9. He's somehow out-leveling Skylark. Bear in mind, he was 6.5 on Centaur to level 4 on Mickey at a point.
They're going to use the Stampede to catch up to Taiga here, but it feels kind of bad for BRAME. It's going to take a while to get this kill, but I think it's also not the kill they wanted with a smoke.
Definitely not. Look at it's the dead part of the map too. They're in their own triangle. You get that kill, but Liquid's just like, yeah, sure, whatever, man. We have our entire side of the map. Everybody's farming. Koifa, I think, is closing in on. Oh, he has his blink. Okay, so this mid tower fight is going to be spooky for BRAME. They don't have any BKBs coming up soon. Their timing should be better than the previous game, however. They're not just going to lose 100% if it gets late enough, although Spectre certainly will outcarry a Gyro at some point. But they'd love to be able to make a play with the reload. You know, get initiation from Skylark. He should have a blink shortly, 1,000 gold. Koifa has him beat in that regard.
Once again, Liquid with way more camp stacked than their opponents. They are going to be able to get this opening onto the Centaur. No Stampede available, so very likely he's just dead here. The relocate coming in from behind. They're going to go for the Leshrack, but he's saved by the Oracle. Samael, he's going to survive here. BRAME have to back up.
Meanwhile, Mickey just farming away. Doesn't even have Haunt ready. And Taiga as well. Just like, yeah, you guys seem fine.
Taiga should have an idea. Look at that, the way he's tanked up. Medallion, hat, vitality booster, and a raindrop. That is the most HP efficient build I've seen on an Enchantress.
Love the raindrop too. And that is the name of the game now, folks. It was thanks to the addition of the backpack. The meta has caught up, but it is all about having gold efficient items nowadays, not slot efficient. Everybody's got slots galore. Just buy what you need, be 6-slotted ASAP. Big fan of the fluffy hat.
Nice kill there on Koifa. Wish picks up a double damage. They kill Liquid's big tower defender, and now they have an opportunity to finally take a tower themselves, unless they want to be able to mass rotate, but I kind of doubt it.
I don't think it's happening. See, Skylark just needs his blink. They've got one on Wish. Then it's just a pick off into the Roche pit if they can pull it off.
You hit an LSA from that range. Damn, ether lens, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's a crazy item sometimes. All right, so they've got the Maelstrom for focus, so maybe he can start getting a lead on this Spectre.
Yeah, so far, it's really so good for BRAME. It feels much better than it did previously. Got a real shot.
We're gonna have a great Deso. Now, one of the ways the game did fall apart for BRAME last time, the laning phase went poorly, yes, but they also lost the first Roshan. And that is something that we're going to be coming up on real soon here with the TA picking up a Deso. Focus is going to be spotted here. Spartan, he's going to have to go for a relocate out, but the gyrocopter is already dead. The damage was too much. It wasn't even close. He died in like 2 seconds.
That is, Agi treads gyro. Maelstrom first. There's not much viability. So Mel TPing out.
Yeah, he's not sticking around for this kill. He wants to be able to go somewhere else and leave this kill for everybody else on his team.
Oh, okay. That was nice. Nice play from Skylark. He sniffed out that epicenter was on the way and just stampeded the hell out of dodge. That's a quick bots on Sumel, too. It's going to really help him accelerate. Also very nice to have with a Spectre on your team, doubling that global threat.
Try and chase down Wish here. The dagger slow, but he's already blinked away, so instead they'll have to take the Lina, who was going for a TP out. Yep. Not a fantastic use of a Spectre ultimate, but
it's all about efficiency, right? Like, you used it. I thought he was going to stay top after that, but Mikhail just can't bottom instead.
Okay.
But yeah, if he rotates himself to top with that move, I maybe like it a bit more. They're going to kick him out of bottom, it looks like, although he's still content to farm jungle on his way out. Trouble for BRAME right now is they don't have a natural way to start team fights. You know, you got the double blink in, but it's really tough for your Lina to play in these fights, because if he gets hopped by Spectre Haunt, by a Sanking Stun, he just explodes.
Yeah, and we already saw that very thing happen to the gyrocopter not so long ago.
Really love to have some BKBs.
Skylar, whoa. He still managed to hit the stomp there, but they don't have any vision. Spot Koifa inside of the sandstorm.
Yeah, this is the thing. You know, I'm really not a TA believer. Wish TPing out, though, looking to fight mid. Oh, no.
Managed to catch Skylark. Now he still has Stampede. He's going to try for it here. Cuts through the trees, getting away. Blink is up in a second, and Koifa doesn't hit him in order to stop that blink. Now the rest of his team is rotating up, so they're actually going to turn things around here with a smoke. They're going to run into Insania. A fast kill onto him is an excellent start, but they need to be able to catch the cores here as well. Koifa, Burrow strikes away to the trees. Samael hiding on the left-hand side. They don't actually know he's here. They did manage to catch Koifa, though. Get a 1 kill. Fortunately, Samael is going to bots his way out of there. It would have been a massive pickup if they could have gotten all 3 of those.
Yeah, this is how you got to play if you're BRAME. Just way more aggression. Abuse the fact that your TA is online. The hero does not scale very well, but with Blink Deso Max Meld, you do just what we saw. 2-shotting nearly Insania. And that's the target you've got a gun for. If the Oracle dies, suddenly Sumel can't play the same way, and the team fight's much tougher. But here's the buyback.
We're going to find these heroes are too tanky to be able to bring down. Oh, no, they really need this Roshan. Samael's taking a lot of damage. A nice stop. Barely catches him from Skylark, and a massive kill. He goes down. Buyback from Koifa. He's going to be leading the charge manage with the Burrow Strike to bring down Focus. A 1-for-1 trade-off there. A core apiece, but it did cost Liquid a buyback.
Sumel a bit too aggressive there. Not quite as invincible as he felt. He's laughing at himself, I'm sure. Insania was close, but not that close, and he ran himself the opposite direction of his Oracle. Otherwise, he almost certainly can be saved there.
Yeah, it's one of those awkward things where he's coming in from the middle lane, but the rest of his team was coming in from the jungle area, and Insania's like, I can't be 2 places at once.
And we just saw he has to be very cautious on Insania, because if he gets blinked on, he is the target.
Yeah,
and he will die to a stomp, to a TA blink in. There's just way too much damage. It's tough as well to play these heroes that are forced to stick in the back line against gyros as the game gets late, because you start to catch all the flax as well.
Well, if they can catch Liquid in another slip-up here, they might be able to finally get that Roshan, and then they would have effectively covered themselves on 2 of the major mistakes they made in Game 1, which is kind of what we wanted to see with a lineup that was similar to Game 1. They made slight alterations.
Yep.
They're showing that they learned what was wrong with Game 1.
Again, some trouble. Almost falling victim to 1 more creep syndrome, but this game to me is all about the Bulba coefficient. Number of fights Liquid need to win is significantly smaller than the number of fights BRAME are going to need. The Radiance for Mikkei is online shortly, and BRAME need to play the rest of this game very well. They gotta, oh no, not like this.
Can't afford to lose a hero here. Gyrocopter gonna be relocated away. He's safe, and a stun comes in from Stomanen. Now, They did, where did they relocate? Oh, they relocated all the way back to the fountain. They wanted to make sure the gyrocopter is 100% good.
Now is the time to make a move. The thing is, they have the mech, but they don't have BKBs. They really want to have those up. TA of 500 gold, Gyro in 900 gold. So it's almost there. Once they have those, they can think about perhaps forcing a fight in Roshan. But it's just going to be real tricky because they will be playing into the Radiance at that point. No Haunt for 120 seconds, though. I think you want to press here, even before the BKBs. Get a pick off, get a fight, get Roche. Look to take tower after.
Yeah, if they manage to get that Radiance and they have the Solar Crest on the Enchantress, Mickey starts becoming a really viable... Oh, yeah, and he's got a Nether Shawl, too.
Of course he does. Man, BRAME, they have to recognize their strength, Cap, because right now they're playing like they're behind, like there's some timing upcoming.
Maybe pick up like this would be really good. Wish, okay.
No.
He didn't quite blink down to the low ground, so it's a big concern. They're going to go for this mid tower before they try and take Roshan. Feeling like this real estate is important. Skylark.
Take this fight.
Get off the hood. He's taking a lot of damage here. He's going to be healed up by the IO. Now a stun, a Centaur stun left-hand side by the Enchantress onto Wish. Wish is kind of stalled up right now. And there
you gotta go here, folks. You can't just stand in front of tower against the lineup like Liquids. The impetuses, the stagger and radiance spam, the Leshrac lightning. You wanna immediately engage, double blink, drop everything.
Well, maybe this is a better way to do it, right? They're gonna coax Liquid out of the tower area by going for Roshan.
And they know there's no buyback on Koifa.
They did catch Sumail here in this exact same position before. Skylark not jumping quite yet. Now his Blink Dagger being canceled. They're going to slow him down with the TA traps. BRAME seeming very reluctant to go for this one, and soon Koifa is going to be back up. Just 7 seconds. At this point, BRAME, they've missed their opportunity.
Yeah, they're getting poked. Liquid, very savvy. You can tell experienced calls. They're just poking. You're not trying to fight in the pit. You're not panicking. You just distract them, posture, buy some time. BRAME, I think when they watch this replay, are going to be kicking themselves a little bit because that was the opportunity. Like, that's a 4-on-5. Liquid showed up at the tower. You know there's no Sand King. It is 100% 4-on-5, and they don't even get a blink off offensively. That entire engagement.
Yeah.
Now Liquid is 5, can look to be aggressive themselves.
They've got their initiator too, which makes this fight a whole lot easier for them to take. They're gonna go forward. Nice two-man stomp from Skylark. He sees an opportunity, but intercepted. Wish is gonna fight himself stunned. Wish does manage to get off his BKB, but perhaps it's a bit too late. Focus right in the middle of him with his own BKB is delivering out some serious damage and brings out Mickey. A really nice fight for them so far as Taiga almost goes down to Laguna Blade. Fortunately, Heal's gonna be able to keep him back up. Koifa jumping himself away, but Sumail's not gonna be as lucky. Stuck by the river. The last shot from Wish isn't quite enough. He's got the HP, he's got the Solar Crest. Insania teaming out right in front of them. No way. What? How did he get out of there? Skylark will finally find the jump to take down Taiga. Taiga healed and healed and healed through that, but eventually goes down.
So, man, like I was saying, Cap, what a great move by BRAME to not take that fight until both of their BKBs were online. Waiting for their timing. The patience from BRAME.
Your analysis never misses, Kyle. Man, BRAME, I mean, I felt like that was a moment right there. Wish getting stunned. I was like, oh no, his damage got delayed. But it didn't matter. Their double BKBs, as you correctly predicted, were huge in being able to win the fight.
Playing it smart. It looks over them like, oh god, not like this. They gave them their 5th hero, Haunt back up, but yeah, with double BKB, suddenly Liquid's lineup has no damage. Yeah, and Stone was you threw it to where he was moving, but
I think he was trying to hit Tiger, right? I think he was trying to hit that deer, and then he was like, "Oh no, nobody has a stun."
Splitting the uprights. Some people get paid for that. Wish, huge. Scotty queued up though. For the regen reduction, I suppose. I don't know if that's. It's nice to stick to the Spectre too and the Lesh.
Okay. I mean, they do have a lot of heal coming in, no doubt, right? Because of Oracle, because of, I'm presuming Sumail is pick up Bloodstone, right?
Yep, that's already on the way. Has the Essence Ring, too.
Essence Ring, okay.
Dire are scanning.
So I kind of see it. It makes him a lot tankier, so he's not... There's no chance of him being burrow struck into, oh, I'm just dead. Well, less of a chance. Speaking of, an Aghanim Scepter. Aether Lens straight. Thanks for Stoneman, and he's almost, he's going to put out some pure damage.
That is
really
pretty
nice.
sick. Does that functions with Dispersion, right? Dispersion still reduces that damage?
Yeah.
I guess just to pierce KB then of Sumail, but he's not really got that queued up.
Dire's bottom tower is
Good against the Ench, I suppose. You can burst the Oracle. Makes it. It's just it's to burst somebody.
Yeah.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
After all, the Spectre does
Dire's
have
bottom tower has fallen.
that
Radiant's top
goddamn
tower
nether
is under
shawl.
attack.
That is true.
Dire's
What an item.
That item makes me laugh. So it's just sometimes it's like, oh wow, what a game-breaking item.
Yeah, I keep trying to have this discussion about neutral items and whether or not they're, we like them in the green room, but Ryan always just brings up Hearthstone and pseudo RNG and how it's actually good. You gotta have better deck building.
I will say that I kind of like neutral items. I find them fun, but I would not be surprised if one day they're removed and we'd look back on them and be like, man, that was crazy time. Why'd we ever allow that?
Yeah. Could see it. Corva's gonna get out of here scot-free. This is the trouble with this Sand King off lane, though. Centaur, similar items, but he just feels so much stronger. The Stampede.
Wait, are they both going Scotty?
Are they?
Now Gyrocopters.
They're both going Scotty. All right. Hey.
I mean, surely that's not the efficient play, right? Maybe somebody builds another item that's, all right, well.
I mean, it is pretty efficient. Yeah, it's like 5 extra stats and a little bit of extra HP and mana. No recipe. So it's good in that sense.
Okay.
The regen reduction and the slow, I mean, I guess BRAME, they just think, we're going to win a fight in the duration of our BKBs. So we just want to be able to run forward and stick onto somebody. Yeah.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Tier 3 neutral items coming out.
Titan Sliver, Enchanted Quiver, Quickening Charm, all pretty value items.
Ceremonial favorite.
Favorite? Really?
It's up there. Anything anything that involves status resist, I consider S tier.
Okay.
If Sanji
I mean, I'm just saying
Yasha,
Titan Sliver is a better status resistance item, but yeah.
okay, true, but it's not an aura. It's only for the individual. Like if Sanji Yasha is a must-buy item for every carry for 25% status resist, and AOE minus 10% has got to be good.
Koifa. They try and catch him here, but I believe he's going to be so far away by the time that little missile catches up to him. He even dodged it with
I
Fuels.
feel like we just saw this.
Yes,
The
teams at
sequel.
bottom.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Radiant's
A
bottom
DD,
tower is under
Aegis
attack.
fading on TA. Wish very strong. Still thinking about his item choice. I really want to be sure he picks something up before the next fight. This is one of my pet peeves. Is you have the slot, all this gold, invest. Because his net worth advantage, yeah, it's huge. But if Sumail has spent his money, and he has, this really isn't elite at all.
Dominant, he's going to be found here playing in the jungle where the rest of his team had already abandoned. Team had already backed out of that one a long time ago.
You have done a great service.
Let's see. Wish is still thinking about it. At 5K gold now. What will he buy? Scotty still seems to be the answer.
Radiant's middle
I mean, what
tower is
would
under
other
attack.
options be? Something like a Daedalus or
Oh,
something?
no.
But that's so burst heavy against an Oracle, right?
Yeah.
That seems kind of like... And I feel like they don't have a super reliable way to catch this Oracle. In some ways, I think they have to
Radiant's
just
top tower is
accept
under
the fact
attack.
that he's going to get off his ultimate.
Yeah. Butterfly doesn't help you. Maybe you'd really love to have an AC,
Radiant are
but
scanning.
it's kind of tough. TA itemization gets weird. You can really only go one of two ways. Either all in for the jump or go for the more sustained damage route, which he has chosen with the Scotty. Gyro will also be going for one. Nope, just kidding. Okay, cool. Yeah, Gyro swapped it to an Ags. I think this is the right choice. Ags super value when you have a Wisp on lineup. There's so many stuns on the side of Liquid. Having that side gunner going is quite helpful.
Mjolnir next for him as well. So.
Yeah. So far,
There are a lot of instances. Sandstorm, Diabolic Edict, there's Radiance. There's a lot of instances of small, constant damage that proc the active.
That's a good point. It's one of the counters to heroes like Darkseer or Leshrac, Spectre even. Just guaranteed Mjolnir procs galore. 15 charge Bloodstone, but gotta say, Liquid, you know, they've pumped the brakes. They're just playing conservative, but they gotta be careful.
Dire's top
You know,
tower
Skylark was there. I guess spotted him somehow, but the rest of the BRAME is here to be able to back him up. Right now, they're chasing down this Enchantress while Skylark went back in there. Actually managed to find Insania. That's a big kill. Mickey's gonna pop his ultimate, but it's already too late. Insania's dead. Now an Epicenter coming in. Wish he has the potential to be blown up, and he does. They get him before he can do anything. No BKB pop for him. Focus, he's gonna use his own. He used it to be able to take down the Leshrac. He's also gonna be able to bring down Mickey. The damage he's pumping out is insane right now.
Oh, yeah. And once again, the TA picked up the shard, but it is so much more effective in this game. It's part of the reason Insania just can't cast spells, constantly getting spam silence from the traps. Super effective against the Enchantress as well. And this feels like BRAME's game to lose at this point. They are cruising.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, the fact that Liquid, managed to 100-0 this Templar Assassin, and the fight wasn't even close.
Yeah.
Says a lot about where BRAME's strengths are. This Gyrocopter.
Gyrosphere. It all comes back from that wise decision to wait for those BKBs before that critical team fight. They get the Roche. Now they are rolling.
Truly only the best in Dota would be able to recognize a tactic like that. Skylark. Chopping away at a tier 2 tower. Gets it, and BRAME. I mean, at this point, you're just waiting on Roshan, which just spawned, so can't take it while the TA is up, but dead rather. Shard, who are we giving it to?
Gyro. Or
Gyro?
Give it to your Lina.
For
the ground Laguna Blade.
I don't think I've ever seen that, but in demo mode.
Yeah, me neither. But it would do pure damage, and it would look so cool.
That's true.
What's the
I often
James
judge
Bond
my
movie?
decisions by how cool something is.
Did they give it to him? Yes. It's so cool, guys. It's an increased cast range, number one.
Yeah.
And it goes the full cast length, so it literally like zaps the ground. Lasers.
What are they doing here? They relocated straight into him. Liquid do manage to kill the IO now. It looks like with a BKB, they may be able to get some sort of kill out of this one as the Scotty is slowing down Taiga, but Taiga's still living through all of that one. And now BRAME, they've overextended themselves. A two-man stop coming out from Koifuz. He needed to bring down the Gyrocopter. They have the Aegis on the Templar Assassin. He's going to pop his BKB, but can he get out of here alive? Right now, he's pushing some damage onto Sumail, but it's not doing anything. A turnaround, a two-man stop. Maybe with the lineup, they could do something here, but the Oracle save onto the Leshrac. Think AoE clear of the Laguna Blade does some damage, but ultimately Wish, he needs a little bit more health. Mickey surviving on just a sliver of HP, but now the heal is coming up, and Wish, he's going to have to do something with second life, but he should just be chain stunned to death. Oh, multiple buybacks coming in. BRAME, they recognize they cannot afford to lose their TA here, but a blunder from BRAME throwing away their advantage.
There was no lead. Did they reload in? We got to see a replay. What in the... What?
That was a questionable decision for sure.
They all died. That was 5 heroes if you count the Aegis. How did they reload in?
Yeah,
There's
they
no
reload in.
follow-up. Lina is mid lane. TA is not in range. Skylark wasn't able to land a blink stun. Wow.
Yeah, that was terrible.
A double stun from Koifa. They don't get the cheese off on the gyro, unfortunately. Maybe this goes a bit differently. But
maybe, but ultimately, right, the initiation is just...
I mean, shout out to Laguna. They played that incredibly. Watch the line, Laguna, though.
It's too bad it didn't kill anybody.
But it almost did.
Well, yeah.
Oh, that smile. That damn smile.
Gets Kyle every time. 4-man smoke from BRAME. As I'm sure, no doubt, they recognize. Oh, Skylark, his smoke broke. They know he's somewhere over here. Can they find him? Does Mickey know? The orbs are right around him. They hit him. Hit him once. Finally, the TA trap is right on top of him. They spot Mickey. Can they get to Mickey, though? He's in deep, but they do. They manage to kill him. A massive, massive win.
Mickey. He wanted to sit around so he could cut the wave behind them, but BRAME were not having that. They went foresting.
Well, in some ways, that may forgive BRAME for that earlier team fight blunder.
Dire's bottom
Oh no,
tower
Cap.
is under
The
attack.
trouble is that the Centaur and the Lina bought back, and
Radiant's top
they
tower
represented
is
a
under
chunk of the
attack.
advantage. You know, that removes the Centaur Ags from your next fight.
That is a big pickup.
Oh yeah.
That could help somebody survive if they're initiated on before getting out BKB. They're going to pop said Stampede to be able to catch up to Sumail here with a relocate onto the other side. And a big pure damage hit from Stominen.
Not having any of that. That is a massive 999 pure damage.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Radiant's top tower is
And
under
it's time to push, right? No two, both cores dead. Mickey has a buyback. Sumail does not. I like the choice. Sumail, I was thinking Sanj Kaya, now looking at a halberd. The disarm active against both of these cores is great, and there we go. My man Wish is about to finish his Daedalus. There is no evasion just yet picked up. Yeah, the Radiance burn might annoy him, but if he's BKB'd, he can shred through anybody with a nice crit.
And there's something to said about the new blink items.
Yeah.
They do add a second big peak for many of these cores that rely on blink daggers, right? Your Wraith Kings, your Templar Assassins.
It was a big help to heroes like Wraith King and TA, because it would feel like they would fall off a little bit, whereas now, as you said, you know, they can be stronger. That 5 to 10k net worth lead always feels like one until we get into like the super late game when Spectre might start to turn the tide. But for now, you got to be feeling good as BRAME only a 5-kill lead, but they should know how strong their position is. They just consider where Liquid is playing right now, just kind of hiding in base. They spot, nice ward. They're going to see Wish. They might look to roll out, but it's tough. All these traps.
I can't believe this ward is still alive. They BRAME invaded the triangle and didn't take that high ground ward away. I gotta pop Stampede. I think Skylark is calling, like, guys, you got to get out of there. We have shown 2 heroes top lane. They're running at you.
Oh, Mickey just realized he got a Trickster Cloak. So that's a built-in 20% evasion.
Yeah.
Neither
Edge resistance is really big as well.
Yep. So the game will start to spin a bit. If Sumail can finish his halberd, the evasion on Mickey, well, double evasion on cores, is super effective when neither enemy core has an MKB.
Yeah.
They have an Oracle behind them as well.
Which case Wish may end up regretting his Daedalus pickup.
Soon, Ascati is complete on Mickey. Big timings coming out. BRAME would really love to get the initiation, but I like what Liquid's doing. They're just spending their gold.
Yeah, Scotty's massive, because now he can jump straight onto the IO, right? And he's hitting everybody with it, so you're really going to slow down the regen factor of someone like Focus, who's currently being targeted right now, but they do manage to get a relocate over the side. They're trying to go for Mickey. Mickey is able to take a brunt of the damage, no problem. Taiga a little bit squishier here. They play to the outside. Koifa ready to go back in. Now the BKB's gone. He goes straight for Wish. They manage to hit them with the stomp, interrupting that. No, Laguna play just took out Koifa, but they don't have a save for Focus. Focus is going to end up going down, and Wish, without the gyrocopter and the Centaur to play the front lines, are just going to have to full-out retreat here. A blink away from Skylark. Does he have a TP to be able to get out of here? They're currently tunneling through the trees. No TP. Oh, dear, Skylark.
Yeah, that was just, you can't set it up better for Liquid. They had vision, knew where BRAME were in the vicinity. They had just purchased big items, Halberd on the Lesh, Scotty on the Spectre, and they forced BKBs for the Haunt. Previously, that was a good trade for BRAME. They'd fight through it. But because of that initial back off, when the BKBs fail on the course, they feed. Koifa can come out with a stun, the Lesh follow up, they have Yules. And Spectre's just too tanky. You've got to be able to get on a target as BRAME while your cores are BKB'd. If you cannot do that, you are not going to win the fight. Oh my god, that is such a gross item build from Taiga.
Yeah, seriously, Vanguard, Solar Crest, Hurricane Pike. Now he's going an Aghanim Scepter. So he has some additional survivability in some way. Also good stats.
He also went fully defensive on the talents. I think part of the reason Ench is just so strong in this role. The magic resist, extra heal, and the untouchable slow. So other reason, 265 attack slow? Yeah, if you're not BKB'd,
I thought the shard was good for these kind of builds. Slightly surprised Taiga didn't go that route as well. Either way. 100% win rate on the other one.
What's the sample size, though?
Oh, yeah, it's going to be like one game. Hey, now we have an Aghanim Scepter. Yep. Speaking of damage reduction. Aghanim Scepter for Centaur.
BRAME is hanging in. 40 minutes in. 21-17.
So now maybe we can just pop Stampede for the Spectre ultimate. Hold on to our BKBs, but it still seems like initiation is all important. Right?
Oh, for sure. Now. You have to find Insania.
Paladin has a refresher. I feel like he picked up that Aghanim Scepter not too long ago, but now he's got the double zaps out.
Oh, yeah.
2,000 pure damage?
He's turning into a Bond villain.
Imagine if they're in a line.
That's the play.
Radiant's bottom tower is
He could do 10,000 pure damage in 1 second.
Limitless possibilities. Good chasing. They are on the hunt now. They are feeling themselves. Level 25 on the Spectre. A little bit of extra dispersion. It's actually such an insane talent. 25% damage reduction. You need a break, it feels like, on BRAME, but nobody can really buy one. And yeah, we'll watch this fight again, but it's pretty simple. Focus BKBs. They're going for Spectre, Force Staff from Taiga. Now both heroes BKB'd. They're not dealing damage. The positioning from Liquid is super easy. That little star. They shift right. BKB's down, shift left. We've all seen that.
Back into the game, though. BRAME, they have smoked up, and they tried to run towards Liquid's jungle. It broke on Mickey, and they didn't find the clean initiation they wanted. So now they're going to try and back out without anybody getting caught. Toying with Turing around. Okay, that was a Lotus Orb. Burrow Strike stun onto Koifa. They tried to go for Wish here, but Wish is getting away thanks to the Stampede. A two-man stun out from Stromanen onto Samael and Mickey. They're going to turn around and deliver the damage onto Taiga and catch up to Samael as well. He goes down with a Laguna Blade. Insania gets popped next. Mickey on the run. Skylark, he's surrounding him. He's making sure Mickey doesn't have an easy way back to his base. He's going to play on top of Roshan, but the missiles after him, they're going to be able to catch him as well. They see Roshan spawns right next to them as well. They win the fight. They immediately go for Rosh. It couldn't get better for BRAME.
Yeah, that Stampede, that adds. Like, the buyback slowed it down, but you can see they haunt, immediately counteracted, and then turned back around. They didn't even use the BKB on Gyro. Wasn't necessary. And the Lina actually did so much damage in that fight. Like 2 full combos. I think that was a 2-man Laguna, and then able to finish off the
Aghanims pick up Kyle, and he's going to use it to teleport bottom lane and catch Koifa. That's dirty. That is dirty.
Yeah. And suddenly the map shrinks for Liquid. That is, I can't believe how hard they just crushed through that fight. With the buyback, I mean, they're going to go for Throne. Otherwise, you got to be careful. Look at Wish.
Goes back to base, TPs, and rejoins his allies inside of the Liquid base. Mickey does have buyback in 40 seconds, but they found an opening onto Koifa. He's immediately going to be safe. A false promise from Insania. Koifa will be fine, but the buyback has been used from Mickey. The damage is done, and BRAME call it quits.
It's time to go. Still have everything that you need, and I love this. Look at Gyro. He's got the Silver Edge queued up. He recognizes that really the way we would lose this game is if we all in for a Spectre. He pops Blade Mail. We get all of ourselves to half HP, then he gets Oracle ulted. The break means that he becomes a true target, and you force the Oracle ulti that much faster. Leveler on the TA. Structure damage will be no problem.
And
plus 8 refraction? What? They used to be plus 3.
Yeah, they had to make it a little bit more appealing since the meld hit bash was all the rage. Now,
that is
Wish is
really good.
Tanky, and he's also got the Swift Blink up as well. So look for him to be pumping out damage. We have the 5% dispersion here from Mickey, but as you said, if we break him, doesn't matter.
Blessings.
He is very strong. I don't see I don't know, Liquid, it feels like they're the ones really having damage troubles now. Look at this Centaur's HP. The damage reduction on the Stampede, and then both cores also above 3,000 health.
Yeah.
The Lina at 3,000 health.
About to be level 25 too. So
More
Lacuna
lasers.
Blade cooldown.
How
Every
much damage?
25 seconds. The cast range, man. Cast range is sick. Seems like these shards have turned into, oh, it does this cool little thing, but like the real bonus is in the stat that you're gonna get out of it. A lot of cap ranges being given out.
Ag's picked up on Koifa. It's part of the issue with tanking. Like, look, if you look at the itemization, it doesn't. Koifa didn't do anything wrong, right? But
Yeah.
you're just like, are there really no better items? But then you rack your brain, you're like, no, there really aren't. Like Centaur, you have the luxury of buying this, and it feels really good because you're just tanky. You make your team tankier.
Yeah.
Tanking doesn't really have that. You see Koifa, when he stuns in, he ends up being turned around on quite easily. Still nearly as durable as his off-lane counterpart.
It does mean if they do manage to blow somebody up, the damage that is inflicted from that explosion can be very high. 22% of their max health is damage. So when
That's a lot.
You're talking about everybody being 3,000 HP. It can have an effect, but it's obviously not the same kind of meaty feel good as damage reduction. Wish starts laying the damage into the melee barracks, daring Liquid to do something about it. He's got 1 minute left on the Aegis.
Smell has his 25, so more damage out of the Edict.
Good read on the ward being there. The Brewer's Strike just to kind of stall him. Poking at Wish, but the refraction is keeping him plenty healthy here. And there goes one lane of barracks. Can they do another one before the Aegis falls? They've got 45 seconds. Oh, okay. Spartan's a little far forward here. What was that? They're going to try and jump on him real quickly. He goes for the self-fuels on the Stormcrafter, but it's not good enough. Mickey takes a hefty amount of pure damage, but that's now gone. Mickey retreats back to the fountain and ready to re-engage with his ultimate. His brain start jumping back, but they're not going to let him get away. Liquid see an opportunity. They're going to pounce on Brame's mistakes. They're going for focus right now. Mickey's got to be a little bit careful. He plays a little bit far back, but the Spartan, he actually buffed back, and that's going to be a dieback for him. He goes down here. The stuns are raining in, though. It might just be able to save him, but no. Mickey cleaves right through him as he daggers on through. Goes for the back line now. He's managed to keep up for Stominate. He turns around, throws out the Laguna Blade, but two dead with no buyback on Brame. Oh, no. What a disaster. Wish. He turns around. A stun coming out. A Lotus Door bounce back as well, but Skylark, he's going to be blowing up, and it does a healthy amount of damage to Wish, who also falls. Focus, TPing away. Ooh, barely gets out.
Oh
that
my
might have
God.
just spin the game straight up there if he dies.
How the hell did Liquid win that fight? Like, it's as if they do this constantly, Cap. They just make it so challenging for themselves and somehow pull these tricks like the rabbit out of a hat. No clue how they win that engagement. Well, actually,
Radiant's middle
Spartan.
I think we both like Spartan, and we don't want to. We want to say Liquid's great, but like Spartan, bro,
Oh,
that
no.
was. Whoa. Yeah, why are you
I
in
know
front
the
of
feel.
everybody
He's
else?
energetic. He's the captain. He doesn't want to be a Tywin. He wants to be up in the front. Guys, let's go.
You're not even dying, Spartan. I remember that game.
He's so deep.
He's so deep.
His cores are in the jungle already looking to farm. He's questioning why they're not attacking tier 4s.
Well, now
He's dead. Liquid, they have so much pushing power with this upgraded Edict on Lesh. You got to be cautious.
what are they gonna do though? What is Liquid gonna do with this
They can't
opening?
get
Because
Radiant's
we know there's no IO.
No Roche either. They can't get any more because tier 2s on both side lanes are still up. Surprise. I feel like the Liquid we know just goes high ground there, but they choose not to. Mickey also deceivingly survivable because he doesn't just have Trickster Cloak, he also has that Butterfly. So if you don't buy an MKB on one of these two cores of Brame, they have one on the Gyro. That's good. TA now needs one too. He's got it queued up. You legit can't kill this man otherwise.
Yeah, we saw how much damage he was outputting in the fights because he was able to just constantly get in there. Fortunately, Brame, as you said, because the tier 2 still being up, left with only the mid lane of barracks going down. This effectively just undoes what they had managed to prove earlier by being able to take Liquid's mid lane of barracks. So things are still even.
You got to keep in mind, like, it's 17K, and typically you're like, wow, that's a ton of gold, but as a percentage of the net worth available in this game, it is not really that large at all. Yeah, 96 to 115. It's not really that huge when all cores are maxed out. They're 6 slotted. Sure, you could eat a moon shard, you could eat the Ags, but it's not really that wild because it removes the Aegis advantage because now it's replacing a tier 4, tier 5 item. And
they lose their IO here, and you could see the one Laguna Blade going down and Wish being low. There's no way Liquid lets them walk away.
No.
So Mickey, he heals up as much as he can, and then he jumps forward. They're not going to get away because of Scotty, so they have to turn and fight. And then Spartan again, he relocates in, but he's right next to Leshrac.
Yeah. Liquid are doing a good job, though. You can see how they're fighting. Like, Mickey's in. Okay, Mickey's out. They're going to chase, but Koifa stuns, walks away. They're waiting for the right target to present itself, and unfortunately for BRAME, Skylark did so twice. The moment he appears, the Liquid guys are going to pop the pinata. They don't want to go for a BKB core. Trying to get anybody but. However, Sumail did buy back. They got a Rax for it, but it means that Liquid have to be very cautious as smoked BRAME on the way.
Aghanim Scepter complete for Sumail. So now he's got that nihilism, which makes the enemy team ethereal. They're going to be able to take down Taiga. Easy to go over here, and an opening onto more as Insania has already been caught. He pops the ultimate on himself and uses the blink to try and get away, but the damage might be too overwhelming. Or if anything, maybe Sumail needs it. Laguna Blade takes him out. And Oracle still pops. The missiles are chasing after Koifa, but they will not have 2 heroes for 2 minutes. And BRAME, you can see Mickey, he's dead. He's like pushing out whatever creeps he can right now because he knows BRAME could just end the game if they manage to get through backdoor protection. He's going to go ahead and
5 seconds remaining.
Team Liquid's turn
Radiant
to ban.
team ban.
There is so much on the line for this game, for especially Team Liquid. Their goal is
10
not just
seconds
to,
remaining.
you know, do well this season. Their goal is to make it to the major, but not even that. Their goal is to make it to TI, and to make it to TI, you need to ideally get top in your group, which is already going to be pretty difficult considering they lost. And second place would be nice, but they can't afford to lose that many series. Not against BRAME. And it's tied 1-1. Who's going to take this game? We're going to find out. We're in the draft, almost in the draft with Game 3. I'm here with OD Pixel, here with BSJ. And yeah, and there is so much on the line for this series.
There is. And I think after that Game 2, you know, it just goes to show this series really could go either way. I think coming into this series, we said, you know, that BRAME, considering the way that they have played in the other series that they have, sure they lost against OG, but great stuff against Tundra. You know, this team does have a lot of potential. After Game 1, it was a bit of like, okay, maybe the King's back and things are going to be hard for BRAME today. But after that Game 2, you know, there's no telling which way this third game is going to go. And I think we're all very excited because we're going to get to see more Dota from these two teams. And potentially a different hero for the King. You know, will they go for the Lesh again for Sumail? Will we see something different? For BRAME, I don't know if we'll see something different. I think there's every reason to just throw out Wish's TA again if you're able to keep it safe with the bans, because that last game performance really was quite something. And then even in Game 1 where they lost, Wish still had a good time.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if they let them get a late pick TA this time around. Because last game we were talking about when we saw the TA, we were not very excited about it. And the only thing we can come up with is this must just be his comfort pick. Like you're asking him, hey, what are you going to carry us with this game? And he said, you know, I've played TA 1,000 times. We're going to win it with it. So I trust him after that performance. That was not an easy TA game. That was not against the Oracle Disarm, against the less damage over time, Radiant Spectre. It's not like a carry you particularly feel good about like blinking onto. So very impressive performance there. It goes to show that sometimes as long as you got all like decent of the boxes checked, it just comes down to individual skill on a hero.
Yeah, and BRAME this game will have overall 10th pick again, so they can set Wish up for success again. We'll see if that TA will be on the banning side of things in the game. We also do have the respect ban for Lina. We saw Lina win 2 games in a row on the 4 position, and it was just very, very strong.
Make sure you spam it as long as you can, Sheet.
I'm doing it. I'm trying to get a game in every day.
I imagine whenever C comes out,
it'll be nerfed.
It'll be nerfed. Yeah.
Sag. We got Centaur picked up again, though. Should Centaur not also be nerfed? It's also been doing quite well.
Might just be Vanguard that gets nerfed. I don't even know if you need to nerf the Vanguard.
That is fair.
Buyers.
I mean, the balancing of Vanguard seems tricky, right? Because in the previous patch, it was hardly ever brought, right? It kind of went from never bought to sort of every game brought when you have the right offlaner now.
Well, we heard Purge's analysis of how it works with minus armor early, and it goes from blocking like all the damage to eventually doing virtually nothing. So it's an item that you either get it super early and you're unkillable, or you can't really buy it at all. Like it's a weird item.
Unless you need to build up an Abyssal. But then again, nowadays I guess Abyssal's kind of a less favored item.
Yeah, Abyssal kind of sucks now, and none of the offlaners buy Abyssal.
No.
So
do you pick? So Liquid, you're gonna tell.
To give it like a 100 or 200 gold recipe, I think would be fine. Because when they made it so Vid Booster got 100 gold cheap, hitting it 1 or 2 creeps like earlier on in the game when you're having such a timing-based item.
This will be the first game this season that Liquid picks up the Earth Spirit.
I mean, Tiger was probably still is one of the best at the business in it.
Sure.
I'm excited to see sort of the change of pace because we've just had 2 games from Liquid where both times around they had a very defensive 5. We're going to see a bit more aggression, or potentially from Insania with him on the Grim Stroke this game round. That is, of course, if it is him. You know, we have seen, of course, some core Grim Strokes. I mean, Grim Stroke in a pretty ridiculous place right now. A hero that was already great. Did get buffed many times with a lot of little changes. So there is versatility with this hero. I personally would be very excited to see Sumail take it mid, but probably won't happen. Probably is just Insania. But there's a chance. This Grim might be something else than just the support.
Yeah, we got 2 assassins banned out as well as Morphling.
10 seconds remaining.